first time, astronomers have captured images of a new planet forming around a star. LKCA 15b is about 450 light years from Earth and is also the youngest planet ever discovered. Before now, scientists haven't been able to see such young planets because of the light from their solar system. Light outshines them. But Dr. Michael Ireland from Macquarie University and his colleagues used mirrors to cancel out the starlight and were able to see disks of dust near the planet. And Dr. Ireland joins me now in the studio to talk about the discovery and shed some light on the process. And in fact, you might just explain how this all works for this time in the morning on a Saturday. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Just explain to us then how you actually came to discover this planet.
Okay, so we used the Keck telescope on Mauna Kea in Hawaii. This is the biggest fully capable telescope in the world. And we use this special technique called aperture masking interferometry, which basically enables us to see very faint things next to bright things. So we directly detected the light from this planet, which is still glowing red hot from its formation.
Is this a matter of taking what the average person will use a telescope and looking through it? Is all about different light spectrums? Is that how it works? So it wouldn't be visible to the naked eye, for instance?
That's right. So this is infrared light. So it's the planet's at least about 1,000 degrees. So, you know, if you drive a truck down a mountain, its brakes get hot. If you drop an entire planet on top of itself, it stays hot for millions of years. So we're seeing the sort of infrared light that all hot things give off here.
What was your reaction when you... I mean, was this a slow realisation that you'd actually found a new planet?
We were very excited on the first night in 2009, but then things got more and more complicated. We didn't just see a single dot of light next to another one, we saw some material around the planet, which we think is still actively forming it. So it took us more than a year to collect enough data to really interpret what was going on.
Now, I gather there have been quite a few detections of Jupiter-like planets. In other words, these are gas planets, aren't they? They're not the typical planet we would know like Earth or Mars, which are rock planets.
That's right. The easiest planets to detect are definitely the Jupiter mass, or this one's probably about 7 times the mass of Jupiter. These planets, and for direct detection, they have to be very young in order to still see them glowing. But this is the closest young planet we've found around a solar-type star. The others are much further out.
When you say young, what's the age we're talking about?
We're talking 2 to 3 million years.
Which in astronomical terms, I guess, is very young.
It's a baby. Its energy is still coming from its gravitational contraction, that is the star, not just nuclear burning.
So what are the implications for finding these sorts of planets? Does it give rise to perhaps the theory that there are Earth-like planets out there somewhere?
Absolutely, and seeing a diversity of planets really tells us that all solar systems are not like our own, and our own may in fact be special for only being as big as it is, because this particular solar system will end up being very much larger than our own, and that will have implications for how many sort of comets hit Earth-like planets around this system a million years into the future, and things like that.
Is there a likelihood that we will discover a so-called Earth-like planet? I mean, they talk about the Goldilocks zone, don't they? It must be a planet that's so far from a star but still warm and can actually nurture life.
We will certainly know how many Earth-like planets there are around from a mission called the Kepler satellite within a couple of years. But these are around much more distant stars, and this is an indirect detection mechanism. You need very expensive space missions to directly detect the light from an Earth-like planet. 20 years' time, maybe.
All right, Michael Ireland from Macquarie University, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Well, the shores of Lake Burley Griffin have been named in the National Trust list of the 10 most at-risk heritage sites in Australia. The organisation says it's concerned that new development is